Wow. What a performance. Okay, how does a team with 4 injured center backs, missing the best goalkeeper in the world, one of the youngest squads in European football, playing against a rival that had not lost a match away from home all season, how do you put on a performance like this? This was absolutely incredible. It was another magical, undescribable night at the Santiago Bernabeu. I think last night embodies everything that Real Madrid is and represents. This club is the David Goggins of world football. Absolutely extraordinary. The harder the rival, the more difficult the task, the taller the mountain, the better we become and the stronger we get. It was absolutely electric. Let me give you some of my observations from the match last night, which I think you guys will find interesting. Let's get started. All right, let's talk about the match last night because there are some really interesting things to say. Last night was one of those, like I say, magical evenings. There's something so electric when the Bernabeu connects with the players. It is an almost spiritual experience. It is absolutely magical. What a performance. Let me give you some of my thoughts. First of all, let's talk about Vini. Vini, when you play like this, you make me forget that Killian Mbappe even exists. This was one of Vini's best performances since he arrived at the club. Not just the goal, which was an absolutely impossible, improbable missile, but in the second goal, the intelligence and the weight of the pass to Jude Bellingham was extraordinary. And in the third goal, dribbling through 3 players on the left, this was absolutely fantastic. Now, I've given Vini a hard time in the past about his finishing, and boy, did he make me eat my words. Phenomenal. Vini was just absolutely phenomenal. And Killian, if you're listening to this, you better sign whatever piece of paper is in front of you, because on a night like last night, with Vini playing the way he played, we don't need you. So, food for thought, Killian. This is no joke. This team is fantastic without you. All right, let's talk about Jude Bellingham as well. If there are any English football supporters out there listening to this, this man is going to change your life, okay? You guys have just won the lottery. I have watched the best players in the world at the Bernabeu my entire life, okay? I've watched the Zidanes, the Cristiano Ronaldos. Jude Bellingham is a transformational player, okay? He is absolutely transformational. And, you know, they often compare him to Zidane, because he has such an exquisite touch with both his left and his right. His technique is impeccable. But there is another aspect of Jude's play that I think goes unappreciated, and I don't think you capture it very well on TV, but it's something very palpable when you're in the stadium. And so I go to the matches and I watch them in the stadium, then I come back and I watch the match again at home, sort of more calmly, objectively. And there is something that you don't capture about Bellingham on TV, and it's his presence and his physicality. There is a power and an aura around him. He controls more space around him than any other player. It feels like there are 2 players instead of one. It's very hard to describe, and I don't know how much comes, not a lot of it comes across on TV, but when he runs forward, it feels like a stampede of buffaloes. I mean, he has so much power and so much strength. It's amazing. Look, if you're an English football fan and looking ahead to sort of the Euro, the World Cup, etc., this kid is going to change your life. This is a transformational player that is going to change your luck and is going to bring you a lot of happiness. Mark my words. Okay. Number 3, Toni Kroos. Okay, if artificial intelligence could create a football player, this is what it would look like. Toni Kroos is like a computer. The intelligence and precision of his play is unbelievable. Now, I don't, we've all been watching him for years. I don't need to say any of this, but it really is amazing. And, and it's not just the accuracy of the passes. I think last night was, 63 out of 64 passes or something like that. It's not that, because it's very easy to just pass the ball to the guy next to you. Toni Kroos makes 50-meter diagonal passes to a player in full sprint, and he does it with 2 defenders on his back, and every single pass is absolutely pinpoint accurate. It is simply unbelievable. Look, I don't, what can I say about Toni Kroos? I mean, this is a guy that has won 5 European Cups, and he looks to me like he has 2 left in him. This was another magical performance by a guy that just never fails us. Okay, number 4. Let's talk about Camavinga and Tchouameni. Now, I'll tell you why these guys are so critical. When you play in a team that is as offensively minded as Real Madrid, that is just such an attacking club, you need muscle to compensate. You have to create a balance. And Camavinga and Tchouameni bring this. They are the muscle, they are the engine room of this team, and what allows this team to go forward in the way that it does. Last night, they were both spectacular. And another reason I sort of put them together here is that both of these players have been asked repeatedly during the season to play in unnatural positions for them. And every time that they are asked to do it, they do an absolutely extraordinary job. So, I have to say I have a particular weakness for Camavinga from an athletic standpoint. He's just one of the most athletic players I've ever seen. It's not just his power and speed, but his elasticity. It's incredible. When he steals balls, he just wraps his leg around the opposing player. It's extraordinary. So I had to mention Tchouameni and Camavinga. Okay, number 5, Arda Guller. Okay, this kid impressed me for a couple of reasons. Now, we know that he is a genius technically, and all of the kind of vibe coming out of the training sessions is that this kid is phenomenally talented, and he is going to be a superstar. But a couple of things that I really noticed last night. He doesn't get a lot of minutes. He's 18 years old, obviously very young, but when he came on the pitch, I think there were 12 or 15 minutes left. If you look at his first touches, his first participation in play, he wasn't rushed. He was very mature and very calm. He didn't try to force things. He didn't try to, show his skill. Now I finally have a few minutes. No, he was very mature. He played with a lot of professionalism. And then when he did have to turn around and face defenders and make things happen, what can you say? Incredible technique, in the play of the penalty, phenomenal skill. This kid is going places. And look, if you're 18 years old and you walk onto the pitch of the Santiago Bernabeu, you need to have a big pair of balls and a lot of heart to do what he did last night. So, hats off to Arda Guller. I think Turkey has a real gem here. So I was incredibly happy about that. Okay, I need to mention Carvajal because Carvajal, embodies the spirit of Real Madrid. Look, he had to play central defender. That's not his natural position. He's a short guy, typically plays right back. But boy, did he do a job. I mean, he has so much grit and so much energy and so much tenacity. He's just, I think, embodies the spirit of this club phenomenally. And again, just another exceptional performance from him. Okay, number 7, Lucas Vazquez and Ancelotti. And I'll tell you why I put these guys in the same conversation. Lucas Vazquez is a player that, very rarely gets to play. He gets very, very few minutes. But because of all the injuries in defense, he's been called upon the last 3 matches, and he has done an absolutely incredible job. Now, this is not something that you usually expect, and I give a lot of the credit to Ancelotti because Ancelotti doesn't just create a lot of calm and stability and sort of, union and solid camaraderie among the players, but he also makes sure that they are absolutely all in tip-top shape, and they all know exactly what they need to do the second they come on the pitch. So I think Lucas Vazquez has really impressed us. So congratulations to him, but also to Ancelotti, because I think a lot of Lucas' performance has to do with Ancelotti. And finally, I have to say this. Florentino Perez, thank you. Thank you. the excellence that you have instilled in this organization, the way that you have taken the values of this club and translated them not just on the pitch but across the entire organization. I can tell you as a member, everything from calling the member services line or going to the member services office or going to the shop. I mean, at every level of this organization, it is just excellence. It is the highest standard you'll find anywhere. So, what happened last night is something that has to be, the organization has to be excellent from top to bottom. And I think Florentino has just done a wonderful job. I think as a Madridista, it's an honor to have this guy as president. And, thank you for everything you've done. But anyway, those are my thoughts on the match last night. I hope you enjoyed them, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. A la Madrid.